Welcome back to Whiskey Wonder Woman and another mystery box for the week. I'm Whiskey Wonder Woman. If you're new to my channel, I do mystery whiskey tastings every Wednesday. So I have a mystery whiskey pour in this glass, and I have to guess if it's over 50 or under 50, and I have to guess what type of whiskey it is, and sometimes I guess if I think it's top shelf or bottom shelf. And I've totally failed on my last one. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. So let's get started. This is the color. It is a nice yellow. I mean, it is actually really yellow. It is a diluted yellow, a very healthy, hydrated yellow. There's not even a tint of brown in here. I will say that the whiskey, although the color is super light, it has a good oiliness in the whiskey. Like, the legs are still there. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go in for the aroma. I just smell grain. It's just grain, guys. It's corn. I feel like I'm just smelling corn. I'll just say that it's a light corn smell. It's a light corn aroma that hasn't aged into whiskey yet. It just smells like grains. Alright, let's see what else I can smell. I think it's like a little hoppy, like earthy, grassy, grainy. It's smelling very refreshing, but not in like a fruity, sweet way. More like a healthy herb, came from the soil aroma. I think I'm getting hints of oak, and it's leading into leather, which is a good thing because I need the leather to get past this graininess that's going on. Yeah, it's kind of almost two opposites. It's like almost aged oak, a nice leather tone, like something you would get out of your cologne, and then you have like hoppy, grassy, grainy aroma, and it's like fusing together, and I'm not really feeling it. My glass smells better than actual whiskey because I'm getting those nice oaky flavors. Yeah, so the only thing that's going for the aroma so far is that leather note. And you know what? This is not the aroma piece, but it is super, like, it just looks really oily, which is kind of confusing because based on the smell, I think it's like super, super young, but I could be wrong. All right, let's go in for the taste now. Cheers. That tastes like spicy popcorn. That got spicy real fast. That was a weird tasting. I need to think about what I just said. Spicy popcorn. Okay, let me go in for the second tasting. Yeah, for me, it tastes like sweet corn juice. It has probably a bunch of rye in there, grainy rye, because it gets spicy so fast. Like, even right now, my tongue is tingling. Not that it's burning, it's giving off a very spicy note, like peppery, pretty peppery, honestly. And the best part, even though this is overall grainy to me, it went down pretty smooth. Like, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I think this whiskey has a lot of potential. Even though it's spicy, it's not harsh. Like, I do think that this is pretty toned and smooth. It's a good like mouthfeel. I think it's just lacking tons of flavors, or maybe age. I actually think this has a lot of potential. It must be like a young whiskey. It was aged maybe another 4 or 5 years. I think this would be really good. So based on those notes, I'm definitely thinking that it's under 50, but I do think it has tons of potential. So the type of whiskey I'm going with is bourbon, because I mostly got corn in the aroma and the taste, but in the finish, I got tons of spice. So the reason why I'm leaning towards bourbon, I think if it was a rye, I think it would be a tiny bit darker. I could be wrong, but I'm going to lean towards bourbon. I'm going under 50. I wouldn't say it's bottom shelf. Like, I actually think it has potential, but for me, it wouldn't be. I would probably use it as a cocktail mixer because I think it's lacking depth. I think it could do better. That leather in the aroma, I think it hints to me that it could be a really good whiskey. But the taste and the aroma came off a little young, a little hoppy, a little grainy. The finish was super spicy. But the crazy part is that everything was super smooth and like kind of dense in corn juice. Yeah, corn juice. Like whatever is in here, corn whiskey juice. So just to recap my notes: aroma, grainy corn, leather, hoppy, grassy, a lot of earthy toned notes. Taste, sweet corn juice. Maybe I could throw in vanilla, but it leaned towards sweet corn. Super smooth, but then immediately went super spicy. I thought it tasted like buttery popcorn with pepper on it. So the finish was pretty peppery, but it went down pretty smooth. With those notes, let's see what we have in this box. Oh my god, I think this is a bottom shelf bottle. It's called Ancient Age. It's $16. I'm pretty sure this is like a bottom shelf bottle. It's 1 liter. I don't even know who Ancient Age is by. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, carefully distilled along the banks of the Kentucky River according to the finest old traditions. This is 80 proof. It actually did pretty well for 80 proof. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting this to be like a total bottom shelf banger. Wow. Okay. Anyone know who Ancient Age is by? I'm just gonna have to look it up. It's by Buffalo Trace. Oh my god. This is a really good like bottom shelf Buffalo Trace product. Did everyone know this? That is, wow. Sweet corn juice by Buffalo Trace. Just seeing something on Google. It says that Ancient Age 10-star used to have a 10-year age statement, but some say that it's now closer to 3. What? I feel robbed. Because I said if it was older, I think it would be like pretty darn good. And I don't know if like I've ever seen a 10-year-old Ancient Age before, if that even exists now. During the bourbon boom in the 2000s, demand for bourbon skyrocketed, but Ancient Age's age stocks ran out. So I guess they had to make more and then made a younger batch. That kind of sucks. When I googled it, these tasting notes came up, so this is what I'm gonna read. 80 proof. Aroma is said to have notes of corn, caramel, toffee, and vanilla. I don't know. It was a little grainy, but I don't know. Sweet popcorn juice. While the taste is described as spicy with hints of toffee and citrus, it was actually really sweet. Sweet corn juice. Like, yeah, honestly, spicy caramel popcorn. That's what I'm thinking for this bottle. The finish is said to linger with hints of toffee and citrus. I mean, if you want to mix the spiciness with the peppers and the citrus, I could see it, but I think it leans a little sweeter to have the citrus note. I kind of like doing these whiskey videos because when I get a bottle that I don't know and I look it up, there's always a backstory to all these whiskeys. Like, these bottles come with history, and it's actually really interesting to understand like how it changed, or who bought it, or who changed the recipe, or if this is the original, or if something's discontinued. I want to see what Buffalo Trace says on their website. Since 1946, this bourbon has been held in high regard. 80 proof and distilled from corn, rye, and barley malt. Is smooth and simple, yet robust in its own way. Yeah, it was pretty smooth. Must have been from the barley. Okay. Tasty notes: corn, caramel, toffee, vanilla, sweet corn juice. Follows with a hint of spice. Okay, that was a lot of spice, not a hint. Finish hinting of toffee and citrus. I would say it's super smooth. Yeah, I went down like sweet caramel corn juice. In 2013, it won the Liquid Gold Award, 94.5 points, Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. It's been a long time since it won an award, but this is a bottom shelf. The fact that it even won an award, unless that award for the 2013 version is the 10-year-old version, You can't give the same award to this when it's like 3 years old. Let me see if it says the age on here. Yep, this one is 3 years old. I did not get the 10-year-old version. At 3 years, it has a lot of potential, so I imagine that the 10-year-old version is probably a good one. I don't know if anyone out there has tried it. If you have, please let me know, because I would love to know if it's really worth the hype, if they're not even making it anymore. I think they should, but you know, that's Buffalo Trace. If you enjoyed this review, let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and subscribe to more whiskey content if that's your jam. And I will see you in the next whiskey box video. Good night, guys.